network.
There were only 3 networks, not like now.
And a lot of the news that the networks broadcast really came from the White House. So it was really a heavily propagandized society. But my experience was like Bruce too. It was a real mix. Some students were very opposed to what we were doing, and some were actually supportive of us. And also with teachers, I had 2 teachers that were moderately. One was very supportive, and one was tried to be neutral, but he invited me to speak in his classes. So it was a mix.
What else, Caitlin? Okay.
Did you ever give up hope on the case?
Give up hope? Oh, I thought for sure we were going to lose, because I didn't think some big important judges were going to say that kids have a right to break a rule. I couldn't imagine that happening. So I was really surprised when we won.
Through the whole process, was there ever a particular level of court case that was particularly, how do I want to say this? Not defeating, but you really felt like, okay, we're done.
No, not really, because we had this wonderful lawyer, and he's right over there, Dan Johnston, and so he was really young, and he was real warm and kind and supportive of us too, and that really helped a lot, especially when people were threatening to bomb our house and stuff. So I wouldn't say that we felt really, like just giving up. We were lucky we had people to support us and give us hope. I mean, sometimes some of the mean people were kind of really hard to deal with. But
Bruce made a really important point that we were opposing the war, and so the appeal was seen as a way to bring more publicity
to the war.
And even when we finally won at the Supreme Court, it was a civil liberties victory. It wasn't a victory against the war. And so it was sort of a mix. I mean,
a mixed blessing.
True.
That's true. We didn't feel like we'd solved anything with regard to the war.
That was really, really hard, because the war got worse and worse and worse. Even so, we really felt like, what did we accomplish? Nothing.
Well, and I have 26 or 27 and almost 26-year-old, and I'm wondering if they're going to get called up. I mean, and I live in, that's something that's very scary to me as a parent.
Yeah.
To be in, and I now can empathize with the parents at that time period worrying about their own children. With the theme encounter and exchange, do you have any, golden pieces of wisdom, something that she would definitely need to put on her exhibit that goes with encounter and exchange?
Yeah, because the whole case is about the exchange of ideas. And that's really what the First Amendment is about too. It's about how we exchange ideas in democracies with respect. And it's about, how we grow in our country and in our world and become wiser and get more democratic through the exchange, people to people.
Oh yeah? Good.
Because, when we started our country, it was we the people, but most groups were left out. Slaves were left out, Native Americans were left out, women were left out, immigrants were left out, kids nobody like that could vote or have a say. And so it was through the exchange of ideas that was guaranteed by the First Amendment. We were able to slowly, those other groups got brought in.
What do you play on your radio station? What's the pop?
And now kids are speaking up and standing up more and more. And so I think kids are the next great leap for democracy. And kids can add their voices to the exchange. That's very, very, very important, not only in our country, but all over the world.
Fisher,
Kids
last
need to
time I
be
saw
part
you
of
was
the
at the
exchange of
NSC.
ideas for our world to get better. So that's what this is about in my mind.
John, do you have anything about exchange or encounter that...
The thing that I really think is important is that if you want to know what's going on in the world, you have to pursue information. You can't just relax and let what comes to you be sufficient, because what comes to you free of charge and without effort is likely these days to be misleading as it is to be leading you toward the truth. If you really want to know what's going on in the world, you have to look around. You have to go after it. That's the main thing. I think. And on that website that I've got, that's 19,000 news feeds. They're all current and they're all cross-connected. So if you want to know about what's going on in Syria, you go look at Syria and read about ISIS, where ISIS came from and all of that. You're not going to hear it on Fox News and you're not going to hear it on ABC or CBS.
How's that related to exchange? The idea of exchange?
Just exchange of ideas.
Exchange of ideas. Well, I was going back to the golden nugget.
Yeah, that's
Sorry,
fine. That's
I didn't hear
okay. We got that.
Well, obviously, the ability to communicate ideas in a democracy is probably the most key fundamental right that you have, is the ability to share what you're thinking with other people. So when authority of any kind tries to clamp down on what you can say or ideas that you can express, that's a real sign of trouble.
Any other questions, honey? Because I know they need to get mic'd up.
Okay.
All right.